Hey kids, Officer Billy Bob Joe here. Today in Adventure Camp, we're talking about... Today, we're gonna talk about... Today in Adventure Camp, we're talking about...
Daniel and the Lion!
To the whiteboard.
And now it's time for Whiteboard Stories. It's where we tell stories on a whiteboard. It's a clever name, huh?
Today, let's take a look at one of my favorite stories in the Bible, Daniel.
Oh boy! Now draw a lion. Right there. Draw it right there.
Well, we haven't gotten to the lions yet, Landon. You see, it all started when the people of Judah were taken from their homes and made to live in a place called Babylon.
Oh, well that's not cool.
No, it wasn't. But out of all the people taken from Judah, 4 guys were picked to have high positions in the Babylonian palace, 'cause of how sharp they were. That's right. These 4 guys chosen were Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. You may know the last 3 better as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These were their Babylonian names. Daniel actually got one too, Belteshazzar.
I can see why he stuck with Daniel.
It was apparent that Daniel and his friends weren't like the rest of the king's servants. Most of them ate all kinds of junk food, while the new guys were over there eating vegetables. I think it would have behooved of them to make them all eat their vegetables. God gave these 4 knowledge and understanding of all kinds of literature and learning, and the king of Babylon, Nebuchadnezzar, thought that they were 10 times better than all of his other magicians and astrologers who just claimed to be wise. So of course the 4 from Judah became the new wise men.
Promotion!
Now one night, King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream that shook him all up. He wanted to know what this dream meant immediately. So he called in the wise men. A lot of them basically did magic tricks and stuff to give answers that they just pulled out of their shoe. Right, and to assure the king that he wasn't just going to be given a random answer, he made a decree that all of the wise men in Babylon would be killed if they couldn't tell him exactly what he dreamed and what it meant.
Won't find that on an 8-ball.
Nope. So Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego prayed to God, asking him to show them what the king dreamt and what it means. Well, God showed Daniel exactly that in a vision. And when Daniel came to the king with the dream and its meaning, the king was amazed. He told him that he dreamed of a big statue with sections that represented kingdoms to come. He also mentioned one kingdom that would outlive all of the kingdoms on that statue, one that would last forever.
I think I know what that is.
Well, King Nebuchadnezzar bowed to Daniel and promoted him like wild.
Promotion!
He gave him high authority in Babylon. He was also over all the wise men. That's right. Then Daniel put in a good word for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and they got promotions.
Promotions!
Now, Daniel pretty much kept his high position in Babylon and even outstayed several kings, telling them what God was saying to them. I guess he earned his tenure. Well, things were going well for Daniel up until some of the wise men got jealous of his position. So they came up with a devious plan to have him killed. You see, 3 times a day, Daniel would open his window and pray to God, facing Jerusalem. So the wise men decided the only way to get Daniel in trouble is to challenge his faith in God. At this time, Darius was the king of Babylon. So they went to him and proposed that a new law be made. The law said that for the next 30 days, everyone should only pray to King Darius and not to God. And if they didn't comply, then they would be thrown in a den of lions.
Now, Rhino!
Thank you, Lionel. Anytime, old chap. Well, this seemed fine to the king, but at the moment, he wasn't thinking about Daniel. So the law was put in place. After Daniel heard about it, he just did what he always did. He prayed and asked God for help, but the wise men saw it and turned him in. King Darius couldn't stand it because he really liked Daniel. He did everything he could to help him, but once a law was put in place, it couldn't be reversed. So he had no other choice but to have him thrown in the lion's den. Then the king told Daniel, "The God who you serve continually will deliver you." Then they closed the den up with a stone, and Daniel spent all night with the lions. Well, the king didn't eat or sleep all night. But as soon as daylight came, he ran to the lion's den and shouted, "Daniel, oh Daniel, servant of the living God, is your God who you serve continually able to deliver you from the lions?" And Daniel answered. He told the king that while he was down there that God sent an angel and shut the lions' mouths. Oh, wait, never mind. That's right, no roaring, just chilling with the lions.
That's awesome.
Yup. Then the king said for them mean old wise men to trade places with Daniel and them be in the den. And then the king wrote a decree that everyone in the kingdom should reverence God. And Daniel prospered through the rest of his career in Babylon.
Wow. It sure took a lot of guts to do the right thing in a situation like that, huh?
Well, not only that, Landon, he also trusted in God, and God kept him safe in that den of lions. That's right. And you can read all about this story and more in the book of Daniel. Well, that's it for today. See you next time.
This has been Whiteboard Stories. We'll see you next time.